Alright, yes! It's not a ranking video, everyone! It's a top 10 video. This time, I'm gonna be ranking... no. I'm gonna be discussing my top 10 video games of all time. Because I like video games. And for reference, all of these, except for maybe the last two, are not gonna be subject to change, like, ever. Unless a really good game comes out. So, yeah, let's get started. Number 10. Super Mario Odyssey is a Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 game. That is, it's playable on both consoles, I mean. And it's a 3D platformer. It was released in 2017. And, yeah, it's a great 3D platformer. I feel like a lot of people have already heard of it, so I won't go into much detail here, but it is personally, for me, way outclassed by another game, which is why it's at 10th place, and is maybe subject to change in the future. Probably. Number 9. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is a technically Switch and Switch 2 game, but it was released after the Switch 2 release, so it's basically just a Switch 2 game. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's a simulation sandbox game, which are one of my favorite genres, as you'll see. Basically what you do is you manage Mii characters on your island, and you can build your island, you can customize your island, you can customize your Mii characters, and basically you can customize everything about it. So, yeah. Number 8. Another Mii game, Miitopia. So, this one released... Oh, it's a Switch game, and Switch 2 game, I mean. And it released a lot earlier than Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. I think in 2019? But I'm not sure. Sometime around then. So, this game, it also has Miis, and you can also customize your Miis, but it's an RPG, and it's a really good RPG with an amazing story. The story is crazy, the set pieces are crazy, the achievements and, like, gameplay and progression are crazy. The music, oh my goodness, the music is crazy. Whoever did the music for this game, holy. But, yeah. Overall, I prefer it over Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, even though I prefer the genre of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream over the genre of Miitopia. Barely. But I prefer Miitopia over TDL LTD because Miitopia just has a more interesting gameplay, and it actually has a story. Yeah. Number 7. Shapehez is a sandbox factory builder game that is incredibly minimalist in its art style and music, but I like that. And it's available on PC. So, this is the first game that isn't on Switch and Switch 2. So, okay. It has a sequel now, but I don't plan on picking up the sequel, because the sequel honestly just looks worse than the original. And I think most sequels are better than the original, so yikes. But ignoring the sequel, because this is the original is incredibly good. Amazing art style, even though it is incredibly minimalist, so a lot of other people might not like it, but I really do. And it also helps with performance. Great music, and it's really satisfying to build, rotate, and combine shapes. And the mechanics are really intuitive and stuff, so it helps for building more and more complicated factories and, like, organizing and stuff. Number 6. Subnautica is a survival game on PC and other stuff, but I play it on PC. All of the platforms here are the platforms that I played it on. And it's another game with a sequel that I can't play because my PC is too, weak for Subnautica 2. Hopefully it's optimized enough, but later when it's out of early access, but even when it is, my PC is literally older than me, so I don't think my PC would be able to play it either way. But back to the original. I love the exploration, the environment. The graphics are beautiful, and the game somehow runs amazingly, despite having beautiful graphics on my old PC. So yeah, the story is pretty cool, and the gameplay and base building are really cool. The survival mechanics are nice. It's not the best survival game on this list, but it is the second best. And yeah, I just like survival games as well. So, yeah. Also, the creatures are fun. Number 5. Now, these top 5 are the really, really, really good games. Though I could maybe see Subnautica being in here as well. The Plucky Squire is a game for the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. And it's a puzzle game, but it relies on breaking the fourth wall as its main gimmick. Now, I really like it when games break the fourth wall, but when you make that as the whole gimmick for your game, and you actually make the game have a beautiful art style and interesting mechanics, and really good gameplay and controls, and it's not, frustrating and really intuitive puzzles and stuff, except for one segment, then, yeah, that's easily top 5. So, yeah. Number 4. There Is No Game is a game is a non-game for the PC, and it's classified as a puzzle game, though I'd argue that it falls under a different genre entirely. A much more specific genre that I don't know the name of, but you can definitely, you know it when you see it. So, puzzle games, in my mind, are games where a set of rules is established at the start, and then you solve different situations using that set of rules. And more and more rules that build off the original ones are introduced at the same time. So I'd argue that, as an example, the Plucky Squire is considered a puzzle game because it introduces... spoilers for the Plucky Squire, sorry. It introduces meta magic pretty early, and then a lot of the other almost all of the other puzzles build off of that, and you introduce other mechanics that also build off of that. So even though it does break the fourth wall, I would consider it a puzzle game still. There Is No Game is all about finding creative solutions to problems. Because while in games like the Plucky Squire, there might still be rules for solving the puzzles, in There Is No Game, there are no rules. So a lot of people hate this non-game because they find the puzzles really unintuitive, but I am the opposite. I find the puzzles really intuitive and satisfying, and sometimes a bit funny for some of the solutions. But, yeah. Also, I'm not going to do it normally, because there are only 6 of these, so I might as well do it here during its segment, but I might as well rank all 6 chapters in There Is No Game. I'll just do it rapid fire. Alright, number 6, chapter 2, easily. This one is just kind of boring, but it's fair because it is an early chapter. Number 5, chapter 1, same story. Number 4, chapter, probably chapter 3. And then number 3, chapter 4. Chapter 4 is better than chapter 3 because it has the extra element of humor and stuff. But both are insanely good chapters. Number 2, chapter 6. It's chapter 6. And then number 1, chapter 5, because the song segment at the end is crazy. Oh, spoilers for There Is No Game. I should have said that before I did this. Well. Alright. Moving on to my top 3. Number 3. Minecraft is the only game on this list that is playable on PC, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2. So it's playable on all 3 of those platforms, and I played it on all 3. And this game, hot take, Bedrock Edition is better than Java. It's, by far better. It's not even close. Bedrock Edition has crossplay, which is a big point against Java. And yes, while Java has mods, I'd argue that those aren't, they shouldn't be considered here because they aren't, like, intended to play, intended by Mojang. Yes, Bedrock Edition has the Minecraft Marketplace. I don't really care about that. Even excluding that, Bedrock Edition is still better. Bedrock Edition has a lot of unique features like potion cauldrons and stuff, and arms on armor stands by default, that Java Edition just doesn't have for some reason, which is a big point towards Bedrock Edition. And a lot of people say Bedrock Edition is buggy, but I never have experienced like a single bug in Bedrock Edition, and I've actually experienced quite a few on Java, so I'm leaning towards the opposite being true. So I genuinely cannot see any problems with Bedrock Edition other than maybe the Minecraft Marketplace, because yeah, it is pretty scummy, but you know what you're gonna do, and you can always just not interact with the Minecraft Marketplace if you don't want to. Anyways, Minecraft is the best survival game on this list, as I mentioned during Subnautica's segment, and yeah, it's the most popular game in the world. It couldn't not be in this list, and it is a survival game where the world is made up of cubes, and you collect resources like any survival game, however, it has a lot more of a focus on creativity and building than other survival games, like Subnautica, where in Subnautica, the base building is kind of just an afterthought. It is still fun, and that's the main appeal of the game to me, because I really like sandbox games. But in Minecraft, it's one of the two main parts of the game. There are people who prefer adventuring and stuff, and then there are people that prefer building and stuff. I prefer both, so I love Minecraft. So, yeah. Number 2. Okay, this might be cheap, but whatever. Luigi's Mansion 3 is a game for the Nintendo Switch, and it's playable on Switch 2 as well. This game is, yes, maybe nostalgia, but I'm too young for that anyway, so it's probably not a factor here. This game is a game where you control Luigi, and you have to save Mario, Princess Peach, and 3 Toads after they've been captured by King Boo and Helen Gravely, the owner of this hotel, after you were tricked into entering it, and into staying there for the night. This game takes place over 17 floors, and each of them are really unique, and yes, while some are worse than others, the best ones are insanely good. It's so good that they by far make up for the worst ones being pretty bad. And overall, the game is insanely good, and the atmosphere that it creates of just like tension and scariness is an atmosphere that I've like never seen replicated in any other game. So that's why I'm placing it at number 2. Alright, number 1. Donkey Kong Bonanza is a game for the Nintendo Switch 2. And I believe, yep, it is the only game on this list that is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2. So it's not playable on Switch 1. No, Game Share does not count. It is a game similar to Mario Odyssey, and it is the spiritual successor to Mario Odyssey, except there is one big difference. Other than the fact that there are 1,000 collectibles as opposed to 836, and other than the fact that the layers themselves are much bigger than the kingdoms in Odyssey in general, and other than the fact that the Bonanza transformations are more distinct than captures, and whereas there are only 5 that you can use anytime in any world once they're unlocked, compared to like 50-something that you can only use if you find the object in the world. The main difference between Donkey Kong Bonanza and Super Mario Odyssey is that in Donkey Kong Bonanza, the entire world, well, except for a couple required things, is destructible. You can just destroy the entire world by punching it, ripping chunks off of it, and then throwing those at more of the world to destroy it. And Yeah, it's pretty satisfying, though even if that weren't true, the gameplay is still incredibly nice. And so even if the world wasn't destructible, and even if the layers were, like, say, 20% smaller like they are in Odyssey, it would still be on this list. It would probably be around 5 to 6. But with those, it easily takes the #1 spot. Alright, goodbye!